So this day we call Palm Sunday. Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a young donkey. He comes to celebrate the ancient Passover with his fellow Jews. But this is a dangerous move. Because in Jerusalem are powerful people who hate Jesus and want him dead. In the shadow of the palms, there's hatred. There is animosity. Imagine John Kerry going to Syria, riding his bike and going into Syria. You get the picture. That would be very, very dangerous for him. It was for Jesus when he went into Jerusalem. His own men, disciples, argued with him about the wisdom of the trip. No, don't do that. You're going to get killed over there. But Jesus is determined because he knows what he is doing. Besides, on Palm Sunday, public opinion is on Jesus' side. He is recording the highest opinion poll rating ever, knocking off even Donald Trump or March Madness or Adele, Jesus is trending up. His Facebook page, if he had a Facebook page, his Facebook page had thousands of likes. And if he had a Twitter account at that time, his Twitter feed for that day would have read, waving branches at me like I'm a king, riding on a donkey. Hashtag Palm Sunday Parade. Hashtag Zechariah Prophecy 9:9. Yet Jesus knew what he was doing because he knew the old prophecy. Your king comes to you humble on a donkey's colt. Zechariah 9:9. If Jesus had been about power, he would have worn, that badge. If his kingdom were political, he would have slung a sword and crucified his enemies. But Jesus comes quite self-consciously as the Prince of Peace. Not the citizen of war. But here is the irony. The crowds don't get it. They don't get it. Take for example, the waving of the palm branches. Of course, they are celebrating Passover, but the people have something else in mind. The waving of the palm branches had a specific symbolic meaning. It was used to celebrate the Maccabean victory less than 2 centuries before. When the Jewish Maccabees militarily conquered and retook Jerusalem from pagan overlords such as Antiochus Epiphanes. And you can read that story in the Old Testament Apocrypha, which is not in our Protestant Bible, but it is in the Catholic Bible, the Old Testament Apocrypha book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 51. And the crowds had that in mind. So it was what the crowds hoped for when they saw Jesus riding into town on a donkey, which reminded them, by the way, of King David or King Solomon and their, ceremonial riding into Zion. At least some in that crowd might have pictured this young prophet as being one who could take on the powers that be. Except, they didn't pay attention to the animal Jesus was riding. They didn't pay attention. And that made all the difference. Because a king bent on war And Zechariah 9 even says, he will cut off the war chariot from Ephraim and the war horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall command peace, shalom, to the nations. You know, the front flappers of Luke 19 are going out to meet Jesus in hopes that he would run these, filthy Romans out of town. And of course, I'm sure those people who were in the crowd were tweeting, to everyone, and they were saying, Jesus is the man we need. Welcome, warrior, king, hail, conqueror, hero. Hashtag First Maccabean, #revolution. However, when it became apparent that Jesus was not the kind of Messiah, the kind of king they were waiting for, the people's jubilation quickly vanished. The crowd in Jerusalem changes their mind and their allegiance. Just like that. We have Jesus, the victor on Palm Sunday, and Jesus, the villain, by Thursday night. That is a serious drop in the ratings. I doubt Charlie Sheen or Lance Armstrong or John Edwards nor Tiger Woods could top that, Yeah, he plunged. And the thing is, when you dash people's highest hopes, that severe, it is not a surprise that you end up on a cross by the end of the week. It is not a surprise. Some wise philosopher once said, today's rooster is tomorrow's feather duster. And that's very true. One day you are riding the crest of the public opinion wave, and the next day the wave is well and truly broken and you are wiped out. Haven't we seen that lately with the candidates? Those who were here and now are disappeared. Because we know people will love you today and drop you tomorrow. People will hug you today and deny you tomorrow. Hallelujah you today and crucify you tomorrow. How could these people in Jerusalem call for Jesus to be crowned one day and crucified the next? Enthroned one day and electric chaired the next? Well, we could go into all sorts of explanations about failed expectations, about the psychology of the crowd, of the mob, and how people will get swept along in a mob mentality and do things that they would never do on their own if they had time to think about it. We could explore all these things and more. And all of them, I'm sure, would contribute to our knowledge of what happened back then and how and why. But as illuminating it might be, I don't think we need to do that. If we really want to understand how these people could sing Jesus' praises one day and call for his death in the next, I don't think we need to look any further than ourselves. The content of our own hearts and the quality of our own behavior. You see, my guess is that most of you here are not that different than me. Did I say that right? Yeah. And the thing is, I know what I am capable of. I know what I am capable of. I know a little of what I'm capable of. I can stand here, and sing praises to Jesus one day and walk by on the other side of the road as he lies in the gutter the next. I know I can be lost in wonder and praise as the gracious mercy of God one day, and then turn around and make the most callous judgment of someone the next day, just writing them off, rejecting them entirely without showing any sign that the grace I have been shown has begun to rub off on me. I know that some days I can sing here, we will walk with each other, we will walk hand in hand, and then, walk out and treat you as though I was born to rule and you are lucky to have me in your company. And I don't think I am alone. You see, it is easy to cheer for Jesus, to wave the palm branches and to sing praises in the gathered assembly. Yes. It is not difficult to join in the singing here, each Sunday morning and honor Jesus as our Messiah and King of the universe. But there's a lot more to following Jesus than just cheering, from the sidelines. What do those praises mean when you are behind closed doors and away from the public eye? You can sing in here, I want you more than gold and silver. But how? How do those words affect you when you get to work in love and justice, don't turn a profit, or put you in line for a promotion? Do you honor him with your actions, or capitulate and crucify him? What do all the words of commitment mean when it comes to working out how you commit your time and your money and your talents and your skills? How could the crowds be so fickle? How could they cheer for Jesus one day and call for his blood the next? Perhaps they were just like us. And it's a sobering realization. But don't despair, because this is not the end of the story. On Friday night at 7, we'll pick up the story again. And we'll look in horror at the extent of what people just like us can do. And we'll hear him say for us, Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing. And by Sunday, who knows what we might become. My dear brothers and sisters, when the parade is over, the cheerers become jeerers. Many of us forget about Jesus when the parade is over. And probably some of you are already doing your Twitter account and saying, it doesn't look much like a parade to me anymore, Hashtag, make way. Hashtag passion. Let me ask you this. The people in Jerusalem didn't know the story of the Holy Week, didn't know what was going to happen beyond Palm Sunday. But you know the story, you know the end. So, are you going to leave Jesus before he enters the city? Or are you going to follow him when following becomes costly? Are you going to be loyal to him and move beyond Palm Sunday and accompany him on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? See, when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, he dismounted from a donkey. But when Jesus arose on Easter, he arose to dismount no more. The real victory was not seen by any great Palm Sunday multitudes, but by the faithful who walk with Jesus beyond Palm Sunday. So are you walking with Jesus beyond Palm Sunday? Despite of what the crowd is saying, despite of what society is dictating you to do. If we are true disciples and followers of Jesus Christ, we too must move beyond Palm Sunday and witness with Jesus in the temple on Monday, defend Jesus on Tuesday, comfort Jesus on Wednesday, pray with Jesus on Thursday, bear a cross for Jesus on Friday, wait for Jesus on Saturday. Then we can shout victory on Sunday morning as we receive the news from the angel. You see Jesus who was crucified? He is not here, for he has risen. He has risen. We know how stories of our lives shift from celebration to condemnation. Sometimes we don't get it. We don't understand it. But we see in Jesus giving us the best example of sticking to the plan, sticking to the schedule, and being faithful to us. Will we be faithful to Jesus during Holy Week?